Welcome to Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, the podcast where nostalgia comes alive. Since July of 2021, Jake and his friends have interviewed professionals in the worlds of acting, directing, writing, puppeteering, and many more. Who will they be chatting with in this week's interview? Find out in this Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show, where nostalgia comes alive. I'm one of your co-hosts, Chris Bixby, and with me today is our other co-host, Matt Bingel, and our host, Jake Deffinbaugh. How are you guys?
Doing great. How about you, Chris?
How you doing?
Very good. Very good.
Awesome. Well, what do we have today?
Well, our guest today, she is an actress, a director, writer, producer, which a lot of you may know as Gina Jefferson on Sesame Street. She was on there for many years. We're here to talk about that and some of our other acting work as well. And here she is, Alison Bartlett. Allison, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm really happy to be here, and I think it's great that you guys do this. And I wish I could flip the cameras around and ask you questions, which I very momently do. So we'll see. But I think it's amazing. I love that you're doing this. I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it
so much.
Thank you.
We could do that. We should flip the script one of the episodes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We've never done that.
Let me tell you, it's not that easy. All right.
Oh no, it's not easy for us. It's not easy for us.
So yeah.
Yeah. So to kind of start this off, so we know who you are, but for those who don't, would you care to introduce yourself a bit?
Absolutely, sure. My name is Alison Bartlett. So introduce myself. Yeah. I am, like you said, you did an amazing job. I am whatever, right? Actor, producer, director, mom, human, fragile, strong person. Yeah. So ask away and I will answer.
All right.
Awesome. Can you talk about your background and how you grew up?
Absolutely. Yeah. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. See, I'm so tempted to be like, now, where are you guys? But I'll do that another time. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York. And I was a child actor and, did my first off-Broadway show at 12 and my first Broadway show at 12. And so a lot of my training came from the doing. And so, yeah, I was sort of raised in this, I was raised in the city of New York and raised in the acting industry. So yeah, that's what this looks like. This is what that looks like.
Awesome. So to know where we are, both me and Matt live in Maryland and Chris lives in Massachusetts.
Yep.
Oh, great. Where in Mass?
Cape Cod.
Where can I just where?
Harwich.
Okay, because I was actually born in Falmouth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I had to. Thank you. So yeah, I was born in Falmouth because I'm a summer baby. So my mom didn't want to go home to the city. So
nice. Really nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. How did you first get into acting?
Well, like I said, I was both. My mother was a very successful and wonderful Broadway artist. She's a singer, DJ Bartlett, and she did a lot of Broadway musicals. She was the original in A Little Night Music, the original Petra. So, I've heard the song "The Miller's Son" more times than I need to hear ever. I was sort of raised in dressing rooms. So, I just think how I got into it was probably just by virtue of that, right? Just kind of being around it and being raised into it. I couldn't really shut my mouth, so I don't know if anyone really knew what to do with me. So they put me on a stage, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. It just always seemed kind of there. And I did always have a sort of nervous energy about me. So stage and, I guess stage at that young age was kind of a good place for it.
Yeah, definitely. So now, before working on Sesame Street as a child actress, you appeared in the 1984 stage production of Landscape of the Body. Can you talk about what that experience was like?
Yeah, so like I said, that was my first real I was 12. I was about to say independent, but it really was. It felt that way, right? Because with my life and kind of the trajectory, there's like before and after. So Landscape was really the start of my professional career. And what was incredible about doing that play, I mean, we were children, right? So I was with Maddie Corman, Christian Slater, Eddie Castrodad. There was 4 kids in the play, and it was written by John Guare, and it was being directed by this sort of brand new, unknown, but very famous young director, Gary Sinise. And there's this amazing, respected actor, Christine Lottie and Dan Florek. But we were these kids in this play. And I would have to say that was my first acting school class. It was the production had such an integrity and such a grace and intelligence to it that I don't know really if I've ever strayed that far from what doing that play in that city in that theater taught me. I don't, a lot of my essence is still that.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about how you landed the role of Gina Jefferson on Sesame?
Sure. So like I said, I started young. And I think by virtue of maybe my personality, my looks, my voice, Joanne in Landscape of the Body was definitely a perfect example of, I got these roles that were of these very sort of tough Jodie Foster like streetwise roles. And so that's what I was getting. And I was fine with it. I really was. Like, I was okay. It fit. I grew up a little hard, so these roles fit for me. Donna in Hurly Burly, and there's a TV show I did where, I was the girlfriend of someone who murdered their father. So these were the roles I was getting. I was okay with it, but I had an agent who said, you need something else on your resume. You need something. And I guess a breakdown. They were casting for what I thought was a day player on the show Sesame Street. And I was 15 and I still watched Sesame Street because I would come home from middle school, a little bit of a latchkey kid. And, I would watch General Hospital and Sesame Street. It was on sort of one after the other. So I would still watch it. And I did the whole, they're not going to hire me, but okay.
Right. Yeah.
I'll go on the audition, but I
just go with the flow.
Yeah, exactly, Chris. I was appeasing my agents, appeasing my parents, So I was like, fine, I'll just go on this audition. And I've told this story before, and please do as I say, not as I do. I was at LaGuardia High School, which was literally a street, an avenue away from where the Sesame Street offices were, and the audition was. So I cut out of school because we were not supposed to be acting and going to that high school. So I cut out of school. I dodged the security. I went across the street to the Lincoln Center offices. And I sat there and I was in the room with a bunch of girls that did not look like me, that did not sound like me. And now this could be my perception, right? Because, you know, we just, sometimes we don't fit in where we are. So that's how I was seeing it. And I was about to leave. You know, everybody looked more presentable, cleaner, you know, I call it compare and despair. So I was sitting in that waiting room and I was about to leave the audition, and they called me in. And it's like, you know, what now? So I appeased and I went in and John Stone was there.
Oh, yes.
Arlene Sherman was there. And Lisa Simon, I believe, was there. And I want to say Marty Robinson was the Muppeteer.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Remember.
Nice.
Yeah, we previously had him on the show. He was nice.
Oh, I mean, a
Yeah.
legend. And yeah, that was it. The audition, once I stopped the chatter in my head and went through the room and kind of was able to present myself, because at that point I was like, all right, this is what you got. And being in the room with those human beings and everything that they represent, it was fine. It was great, actually. And then I got the job again of the one-day role, I thought, and I was on set with we were playing, there were three of us, we were playing Roscoe Orman's students, and there were three of us.
Yeah.
One of them was Joey Mazzarino's wife, the beautiful Carrie Butler.
Wow.
And, you know,
Wow.
and another young kid, I don't remember his name. And so we were his three students and we all kind of got along and then that was it. Like, I literally thought, okay, great. Are they going to be happy now? They could put it on my resume. And I guess they just, I don't know. They kept Gina. They kept the messy, insecure, loudmouth, frenetic, nervous Gina / Alison Bartlett. That's who they kept all those years.
Yeah. So how many
awesome.
years? How many years did you work on Sesame Street?
Oh, for the love of God! Oh God, how old are you? I mean, I was close to 30.
Yeah. Okay.
Close to 30, maybe 27 years. I got to play that character with those people. I mean, that's, come on.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. How did it feel getting to work with that cast and crew for the first time?
That is an experience. I don't care what anybody says. And I, you know, it's a very humbling, the first day is extremely humbling. You're walking on the set of Sesame Street, which even though I was 15, and even though I'd done television and I'd done theater, I was so fully versed in like what backstage looked like and sets looked like. And then you walk on that set and you have to kind of, in the moment, make peace with, okay, I'm on a set, but this is real, but this is in me. And I've known this my whole life. So you're making peace with that. And then, you know, you're just meeting people that, I'm sorry, I just thought about Bob, and I'm sure you guys have heard the news. So yeah.
Oh,
yeah, we did.
Yeah. We just found out Bob McGrath passed yesterday. And so you're walking into those beings, right? Roscoe Orman, Bob McGrath, Kevin Clash, Marty Robinson, John Stone,
wonderful.
Richard Hunt.
Richard.
Richard.
And so what was it like? It was a gift. It was a gift. It was a gift.
Yeah.
It was a lesson that, kind of chisels the human spirit in a way.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, now there's so many, so this may be a difficult question to answer, but did you have like a favorite Sesame Street Muppet to do scenes with?
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt. Telly. Everyone knows this about me. Telly Monsters.
Telly, he's awesome.
I mean, yeah, I could say I love them all, but no, it's totally known that from day one till this day, Telly Monster, my favorite.
I love Telly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Telly's awesome.
Yes.
That is the character that represented my insides the most. And I couldn't believe that there was this Muppet actor, Muppeteer, that so exquisitely and perfectly represented my neurosis. So, yeah, Telly Monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Telly's awesome. I sometimes love where Telly is like most of the time I can't love where he is. Like he's like, oh no, what we're gonna do? What's this gonna happen? Like
Yeah.
Love that
Yeah,
about
and
Telly.
really back in the early days with the early writers, there was a lot more leeway and a lot more permission. Now I don't think it would be as allowable right now. It's a lot more
Right,
correct.
yeah.
But there was a lot more permission to go there.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
With the freneticism and the fear and the what ifs and the chaos, just the absolute chaos. There was a lot more permission in the writing and the acting to go there, which was an incredible thing to be a part of. And Marty Robinson, come on. I mean,
yeah, definitely, yeah.
come on.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of wires, we actually previously had Emily Pearl Kingsley on.
Oh,
Yes.
She was very nice.
She's awesome.
She was so sweet. She really was.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She's the real deal, and she's a gem of a human being.
Oh, yeah.
And a writer that is, top tier.
Definitely.
And mother too, that's top tier.
Yeah,
Of course,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, she did. She did tell her story about one of the kids actually on Sesame and
Yeah.
everything. I just love that.
Yeah. Did you get to meet her son Jason?
No.
Sadly, no, we did not.
No, but she actually showed us a picture of him and Muppet. I think.
Which one was it? I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you guys got to meet her because, that's a once in a lifetime, right? That's
absolutely.
Yeah,
course,
she's a checklist. She's like,
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
We previously interviewed lots of people
lots of
on the show.
different Sesame Street people. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know. This is what I think is amazing. I just think it's amazing that you're doing this. I really do.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Good work and don't stop.
Do you have any favorite episodes you did or songs you sang on the show?
There was a New Year's Eve special we did that I loved. That's why I loved it, right? So Telly was scared.
Yeah.
This was years ago. This was when we first moved to Kaufman Astoria.
Okay.
Telly, that was it. I believe Telly was scared of the ball dropping. And so
and everything would change in the new year.
Yeah, nothing's changed, right? I think he kept trying to prolong New Year's Eve, if I remember correctly. I mean, I was a kid. It was maybe 90. We had just moved to Astoria, so early 90s. And so I loved that episode, New Year's Eve on Sesame Street. It's a beautiful one. There was an episode that Kevin Clash and I did. There was a couple of episodes that we did where one that John Stone directed where Elmo falls in love with Gina. And she has to gently explain to him that she can't marry him.
Oh, yeah. I love that episode.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know the episode I'm talking about? Or?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think I've seen it, on YouTube.
So there was that. And again, these were written by those writers that, had come on in the beginning that really knew the soul of the writing.
Exactly.
And they watched, you know, my experience was those early writers literally studied each of us. They studied us and they wrote for us. And then they put us together in scenes. At least that's my experience as an actor and as a writer. I would have to assume that's what they did because it was so perfect. It was so perfect,
of course,
and flawless. So when, you know, when those early writers, you know, the Nancy Sands, the Jeff Mosses, the Chris Surfs, you know, the John Stones. John might have written that episode actually. When they wrote an episode where Elmo fell in love with Gina, the time taken to study the characteristics of the people that they were putting in the script, it was effortless to do, and it shows on screen. So that was definitely, one of my favorites. I hope that answers the question.
That's a great one. I really love the episode where you adopted Marco.
Yes.
Love that episode.
Oh, yes.
There was a beautiful one that Kevin Clash and I did and we sing you asked me about a song. There was a song that Kevin and I sang, There's Enough Love to Go Around, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's when Gina has adopted Marco and Elmo is anxious that there won't be enough love to go around. And we sang this song that was just, I loved it.
Yeah, that is a really good
That's
song.
awesome.
I remember that.
Oh,
Yeah. So, who are some of your favorite celebrity guests that you had the chance to work with on Sesame?
Other than Little during the monotones. Let's get that straight.
Of course, they were the best.
Yes.
I get excited now. You know, I loved watching Billy Joel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
Loved when he came on the show years ago. It used to be where when celebrities were on the show, anyone could come, you know, as far as anyone who worked on the show. But years later, for security reasons, they started doing closed sets.
Right.
Makes sense.
The show with Ryan Reynolds, I think that was great. That was fun to do. Then there was the 50th anniversary, right? So that was
of course.
That was kind of funny because I'd been off the show. I mean, because
the human cast not because
they were kind of phased out because the format was changing and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then we all came together. And the thing when you're on a show that long with those cast members, I mean, literally, if we were all in a room now, you know, it's immediate. So I hadn't been on the show in a couple of years, and I think some of the others hadn't. And then we're on the set, back on our home set.
And it's like you never left.
You know, Patti LaBelle and, you know, Whoopi Goldberg. And I mean, I don't think there wasn't a celebrity that wasn't there that day. And so that was just great to kind of be a casual observer, you know, sitting on. I remember I did take a moment at that 50th anniversary and I sat on the steps. But the thing about so here's what I will say, and I'm sure people will backpack this, ask them about it. It's interesting. I'd love to see their view. When celebrities are on in my however many years, 27 years or whatever, there wasn't one. I mean, maybe Michelle Obama, who's just so damn graceful and put together that she didn't flinch. Other than that, there was not one that I saw that didn't have that moment that I talked about in the beginning, where it's like, oh my God, there's Snuffy, there's Elmo. Hi, Gina. It's like, oh my God. So there was not one that I met. And, I worked with a fraction of how many were on there, but there wasn't one worldwide celebrity that I saw come on that wasn't humbled by walking on the friggin' Sesame Street set. Michelle Obama didn't flinch. She's just so damn cool. It's incredible. That's an acting lesson in and of itself. She's so gorgeous, but yeah.
Oh yeah. There's so many wonderful. I like the
Yeah.
special you guys did, Elmo Palooza, where you worked with Jon
Yes,
Stewart.
great.
That was
Great.
so
Younger.
fun. I forgot that. That's
Yeah.
that was
Palooza.
so fun.
That's one of my, that I think is one of my favorite like Sesame home videos.
Me too.
I
Such a
love
great
it.
video.
Love Palooza.
I don't know what's my favorite song that's on that video because that's how
Oh,
amazing
there's
it is.
too many
Oh
great
my
ones. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's a zigzag dance and songs.
all around whenever
Whenever you need them. Yeah.
That's an Elmo Palooza, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like the last song, and then they did like a
Company,
medley of other Sesame
Like a
Street
medley
songs
of
in
Yeah.
it too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love that. That was
Yeah.
a good call. Good call. I forgot about it and I loved it. It was so fun to do. It was so fun to sing. We all got to dress up and it was really well done. Yeah. And that was God, that was over 20 years ago, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 98. 98, I think.
Yeah.
98.
Yeah.
Elmo Palooza, great. There was comedy. It was so whenever that original cast, whenever we got to do stuff together, I mean, all bets were off. All bets were off. It was a party.
Yeah, and we spoke to John Kennedy about this previously, but didn't you guys film that at Radio City Music Hall?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, John was probably just starting then, right?
Maybe probably around. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I would think that, yeah, again, that time when new Muppeteers were coming on and giving their talent, which was incredible to watch.
Definitely, yeah, very, very, very good special.
For sure.
Wonderful.
So many good specials that
Yeah. I mean, and then there's the originals, right? So there's Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. Timeless.
Yes, we actually watched that earlier today.
It's timeless. It's absolutely timeless, Jake. Like you could turn it on. It was, I don't know, 48 years ago. You could turn it on today. Timeless. Mr.
Sure.
Cooper's death. Timeless. Timeless.
Yeah.
Elmo Palooza's probably timeless. Like that was
literally.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree with you. I do.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So speaking of New York, what was it like getting to perform in the Macy's parades?
Okay, do you want the truth, my truth, or do you want the televised version?
This truth is fine.
The truth? Okay.
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. Let me just anyone who did the parade with me, great. So let me first say what I need to say is that it was incredible and I am grateful and it is such an incredible experience, right? And it is. That said, if you're trying to hurt me, you will put me in the cold with crowds and loud music. So these were challenges for me each Thanksgiving to have to work with, and thank God. Alan Maroka, have you had him on yet?
No.
We've been thinking.
Just say, what was it like working with Alan at the Thanksgiving Day parade? Because I would take the first half hour and just be like, because I was cold. I was, in crowds. So there was my Telly nervous system go. And then it was always remarkable. But Alan, during those parades, when he started the show, he's the one I could grab and be like, I'm freezing. But there's no experience like that. And my oldest daughter, we were taught when it was on the other day, and my oldest daughter, Bree, was here. She'd slept over because she doesn't live in New York anymore. And she was like, remember the year that I did the parade with you? And so she and Kevin Clash's daughter, Shannon, they're good friends. They were kind of raised together. So Kevin and I thought it would be a good idea to bring Shannon and Bree onto the float. And it was remarkable. It was so fun. She was like, and I said, yeah, but Bree, you got cold and went in with the Muppets. After 5 minutes of her going like this on the float, she and Shannon went in and sat with all the Muppets, and they, so that's an incredible experience because she was like on the Macy's Day Parade float with the Muppeteers. in the window, so she's down with them and they're doing the windows but it was great. It was cold.
Yeah. We actually previously had Lewis Henry Mitchell, who designs the parade and the float.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful float. It's been the
same.
Yeah.
I'm glad he still kept it, which is awesome.
Yeah. No, and I think it's been the same one. It's got to be 25 years. I think it's.
I think so.
At least 20. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is. The colors and. Yeah, and I think
and the person colors will hold each other and too. I love that.
Right, so all of those different roles that people do that make up a television show or a parade or a play. It's I'm very aware and in awe a little bit of all the different roles it takes to create a whole good. The designer of the float being one of them. So
yeah. So do you have any specific funny or interesting behind the scenes stories from your time working on Sesame?
Sure. I mean
there's only hundreds of episodes to go
by. There's so many, the big story with Marty and Kevin on my first day as a teenager. Marty and Kevin, do I still have a resentment? I think it was like a frat house. There was an initiation. So basically, honestly, I will say this. I think Marty Robinson and Kevin Clash got me the long-term job as Gina on the show because my first day, there was a scene with the honkers.
Okay, yeah.
And somewhere, I wish I could see the archives of it because if you're looking at the show, it looks kind of funny. I'm dying inside because they decided to improvise as honkers while I'm in front of the camera and they're safe behind their honkers. And they start taking stuff out of my backpack. This was not scripted. This was not scripted. And I was a baby. And they're pulling at my hair and taking stuff out of my backpack.
Oh my gosh.
Gina's backpack. And they're looking at my face. And I have to remember my lines. And I did. And I think, because it was supposed to be a one-day gig. They kept the character. I think I passed the test. I think that's what did it. I really do. So. They tortured me, poking and this, and they should be accountable. They should be held accountable. They kept Gina on the show. So that, just those moments. Here's the thing, right? There's funny moments. There's painful moments when we lose people. There's intimate moments that only people working in a situation like that together can go through. I am beautifully blessed with so many moments in working on that show. So many. I mean, so to pick one.
Yeah, to pick one, yeah. I mean, like I said, there's only hundreds and maybe even thousands to choose from. Yeah.
There's only hundreds, right? And that can look like an actual episode that we were shooting, or that could be a dialogue that, got me through my day. Loretta Long, I was a really anxious kid, and I was such an anxious kid. And I would sit in the makeup chair, right? And I'd have these anxiety attacks before going on. And I remember Loretta Long one time in the makeup room, here's this wise, incredible, spiritual woman, and she must have seen something in this young, scared little girl getting her makeup on. And she just, Lee Hall was the makeup artist, I remember, and Loretta came up to me and kind of was like, "What's the matter, baby?" and just held my hand. And I think I just started crying because, and I don't know, I have no idea what was bothering me that day. I was an anxious kid. And she just held my hand and got me through that show and that day, and
Aw.
allowed, so moments range, right? Moments range from a funny script to Loretta Long holding your hand while you're having an anxiety attack in the makeup chair.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
Do you still keep in touch with anyone from Sesame Street?
Oh yeah. Sonia and I were on the phone the night before last. Bob's daughter had called her, and yeah, I keep in touch with Alan. Obviously, the last day we have all been texting and emailing each other because we lost our friend. We lost our friend, and then the globe lost a mentor, right? But not lost. We didn't lose. Bob is not gone.
Yeah.
Nor is his essence or everything he taught us. So yes, the answer to your question is yes. Sonia Manzano is one of my dearest, closest friends / mentors, which is so funny, right? Because I was a kid when I came on the show and I was petrified of her because she was Maria. And I couldn't talk when I did scenes with her because I was so nervous. And now, she is my main go-to. We are women working mother friends. Yeah, she's like a piece of my heart, and all of them. So yes, the answer is yes. I keep in touch with many.
Yeah, we actually had another one of the human cast on recently, Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, she's awesome. She's one of great friends of ours. We actually talked to her like a couple of days ago. So.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Tara, she's awesome.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
I think she's 38.
Yeah.
Yeah.
30-something.
Oh my goodness.
30-something.
Oh God, I would love to see you. You had her on the show?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I want to see that.
I don't care. We can make it happen. You and Tara talked.
I'll DM the link to Tara's episode after we're done here.
That would be great. That would be wonderful, Chris. Thank you. I would really appreciate that. She had a beautiful family, and
yeah, definitely.
And, well, since you mentioned the earlier special, you returned for Sesame's 50th anniversary celebration. What was it like for seeing everyone again?
What was it like?
What was it like seeing everyone again?
Everyone again. It was like going home, right? It was. That's what I was saying. I mean, it was very. That was wonderful. It was literally like going home to.
Yeah, it was like you never left.
It was like we
exactly.
I think everyone all of us who were no longer, on the show on that day, it was like we never left. And that's just not the cast. That was the crew. That was catering. That's everyone, the designers, the costumers, it was like
everyone.
Everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because of years and years of investment with everyone's talents, everyone's separate talents to put this show together. And then, like I said, that doesn't go away. So yeah, it was great. The 50th anniversary was so much fun.
Yeah, not even did most of the original human cast come back, but they brought back some of the Sesame Muppets that hadn't been used in a while, like Forgetful Jones,
right?
Sherlock Hemlock. Yeah, they brought back a lot
one
of guys too.
I know you've been mentioned the character on the show in the past, but one of the characters we want to bring back is, I know it's going to take a while. Okay, Barkley. Oh my god,
love to see Barkley. Yeah.
Yes,
back.
I know.
Bruce Connolly. Bruce Connolly plays Barkley.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Is Barkley not on the show anymore?
No, until 2012. 2012. I think it's because I know we previously interviewed Ryan Dillon, that I remember he said where the foam start to make it start as toast. Starts as toast, and because how expensive it is as well, and same as how long they use the same exact costume for a while, I think, and then it's just.
But Barkley was in the 50th episode. Wasn't Barkley in the 50th episode?
No, I don't think so.
I'm making a mistake. Okay. Oh, I mean, Barkley was a huge part of the show for so many years. I did so many shows with Barkley.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I did a lot of shows with Barkley. So I didn't realize that Barkley was off the show.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few characters that are like still there, but we don't get to see as much. Like
Muppet, you mean Muppet wise?
Muppets, yeah. Like Telly, we don't really see a whole lot of nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
I know you see one. I know I see one clip of Forgetful Jones like a couple years ago, I think, or it was last year, that they used Forgetful Jones again, which is Matt Vogel is doing that.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and new, Abby Cadabby came on, and
yes,
new Muppets came on, but I think some of the Cookie Monster is still there, and
Elmo and everyone,
definitely,
absolutely. So with such a diverse and inclusive show as Sesame Street, how important do you think diversity and inclusion are in media? And do you think there should be more of it?
Yeah, I mean, my dream and goal, right, as an artist, is to represent what the world looks like, and that's what's great about. I will say, living in New York City, it is a complete representation of the globe, which I love. Yes. I mean, as a 50, it's like a resounding yes. I mean, how else are we going to get to know each other if we don't all get to know each other?
Exactly.
Yeah, of course.
You guys too, we all have that responsibility, right? As the ones who are creating art, we all have that responsibility, because if the media is not going to do it, right? If the media is not going to do it in a humanistic and responsible, compassionate, connecting way that it should be done, then these 4 boxes here and so on, as artists, we have to do it. So yes, absolutely, Matt. I'd love it to get to the point where it's, I don't know. Yeah. Where it's not even like known that it's happening. It just all blends into itself, where it's not like, oh, we're doing this to be diverse. It's like, this is the globe, this is the world, we are all, hate to tell you, we're all the same, we're all connected.
Exactly. So do you have any like Sesame Street memorabilia or anything from your work with you that you'd like to show or talk about?
Oh, I still have crazy hair. No, that's I didn't know that would be a question. I don't even know if I could have found something. My crazy hair, I guess, right? Like but there was always I remember John Stone like calling the hairdresser like, can you do something with her hair? And those early shows so that is my memorabilia. Yeah, and my memories, my heart, I can keep sharing how that show raised me in so many ways, right? So not only did it raise me as a child who watched it then raised me as a young teenager watching it, and then raised me as a cast member on it. It then raised me as a mother, it then raised me as an actor and a director, so I can share that. I can continue to share that with all of you. And yeah.
Of course.
It's awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome. Overall, how does it feel to know that Sesame Street has become such a success throughout its 53-year run?
It's not surprising. I mean, I pray, I hope it stays. I hope,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it will. They're doing a phenomenal job at sustaining it and keeping up with what needs to be discussed and represented. I find that incredible. That the producers now, the writers now are really keeping up with and almost staying one step ahead of what's needed to be shown, right? So 50 years ago, what children, obviously the baseline is always going to be the same, right? The baseline is always going to be kindness and compassion. Always, always, always. No one's budged from that, nor should it ever be budged from, whether it be Sesame Street or, the world. But what really impresses me is how they really educate themselves on what needs to be discussed. That's incredible.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And that's where I think, 53 years, 103 years, that like, where's it going to go if you keep
exactly
if they keep doing that? Where's it going to go? It's got to stay for the better of.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. They've touched a lot of different topics like divorce, incarceration, deployment, death.
And hurricanes and
hurricanes, fires.
Absolutely. Fires,
What's it doing with fire? Yeah.
Hair, diversity in hair, diversity
and
skin color.
Yeah.
Of course. Disabilities. I mean, name it.
Yeah. And we have Julia now.
They don't shy away from it. We're not supposed to, because it's all part of us. We're not supposed to shy. I mean,
exactly.
Show one thing. So I am so impressed at the way they keep up with that and the commitment to that, and always have. I mean, because I remember some of those, discussions and so forth. And the urgency in which scripts needed to be written or topics needed to be discussed. They made Gina a single mother. Because newsflash, like, how many of us are there, like, globally? So they made Gina intentionally a single mother who adopted a baby from another country. And what does that do? That invites discussion, that invites inclusion, which is a word I hope inevitably just dissipates by virtue of it being. But that's what they did. That was an intentional move.
Exactly. Yeah, I know on another topic that the show have done, I remember seeing a clip where a couple Muppets talked to each other about, like, I remember it was Muppets like dad did something. The
dad did something.
Yeah, I think so. And I forgot what clip it's called, but it's something where the Muppet talks to that, and I remember it was a song.
Might have been the deployment one.
Yeah, I think so. And
is it the one where he comes home?
Yeah, I think so.
Homecoming, I think it was.
Homecoming, yeah. I remember that.
Okay.
And I remember it was a song where they did. It was like everything. It's kind of like everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
kind of that song.
That's what that was from. Yeah.
Well, so that's the thing, right? It's like we have to talk about hard things, and we have to. We can't shelter children from painful, hard things, but the show, and hopefully grown-ups and adults in children's life, can make the discussions themselves safe for the child to then work it through in a safe environment. And I do think Sesame Street has done that. They certainly gave me that opportunity as a child to work through things that were painful and scary and confusing.
And and I know, Mr. Rogers, kind of have those episodes that he talks about, and for Sesame Street do something like that, it's just amazing. I love that.
Yeah, we're all pretty.
Like, I'm not sure shows nowadays they talk about those topics now.
Yeah, there's not a lot on TV like that.
Yeah, I mean, That's why it is what it is, right? That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
That's what makes it so special.
Yeah, it's a pillar, and hopefully a teacher to other television shows, children's television shows, and regular shows as well.
Exactly.
That's why it is.
Exactly.
And that's why it has lasted, because, you know, that language of love and safety, you know, it's really all we need to be doing. So, and it hasn't budged from that. The show has not budged from that.
Of course.
Awesome.
So, oh boy, this question. So as of taping this interview, of course, we talked about it earlier, but yesterday we sadly lost Bob McGrath. Can you share like what he was like as a person, or like fondest memories from working with him?
Yeah, I love him, and I'm not gonna hide my tears. I'm not gonna do that, right? Because we're not
Right.
gonna do that. Bob McGrath, I will speak for what Bob McGrath did for Alison Bartlett, right? Which, having the privilege to get to know him and travel with him and see other audiences speak of about him. What he did for Alison Bartlett was allow her, as a frightened young child, to watch and see, okay, there's an adult, he's a male, he's a father figure, and he's making sense. He's making sense of difficult things, and he's patient, and he's kind, and he's generous with his time. And I think
that's kind of the same what Emilio does as well.
Yes.
Emilio,
so
yeah.
I mean, it's really funny because I was on stage with all three of them a few years ago, and someone asked me the question, right? Because I was like, people were always interested in, because I was a kid on the show and then I was on the show, so they were always interested in that take. And so I'm on the stage with Roscoe Werman, Emilio Delgado, and Bob McGrath, and me. And I get asked a question like that, and I had to stop a minute. I was like, I'm not going to cry. And Bob goes, yes, you are. You know what I mean? Somewhere it's out there, because the whole audience laughed. I got, I got to straighten out, because he was like, yes, you are. Because it's impossible for me not to be moved at what they did. And maybe we could just take a moment and just honor what Bob McGrath did
for the franchise,
children around the globe.
Yeah.
He was an original.
Yeah, of course he's original, because he was the one who actually sang the pilot theme song.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah. And he was with family. So just so you know, what I will share with you, having been in the circle a tiny bit, like, as I'm sure you've read, he was with family, and his daughter Kat reached out to all of us when she knew that, this might be happening. And they are just, and his wife Anne is just she's just a hilariously solid, graceful woman who I've known since I'm 15. So I can, claim that clearly. So I will miss knowing that he might, be at an event that, maybe I go to once a year. I will miss him being there, because I love him. But he's not far from all of us.
He's still with us. He's still with us in spirit.
The world and its children are better because he was born. That's for sure.
Definitely.
For sure.
Sure.
Like I say, we watched, Christmas Eve on Sesame Street earlier, and when we see, Bob, we just, have a moment to just, what he's done.
Yeah, do that. I'll do that. Thank you.
Yeah, because originally when I was planning on rewatching Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, I was going to wait until Christmas Eve because, but when I heard the news yesterday, I was like, why wait?
So why don't we can do that. Like, yeah, I one of you has my email. I know, like, let me know. We should all watch. Just let me know when you guys are watching it and I'll try to stop. If we do it at a certain time when work is over, we can all kind of like know we're watching it together. And I love that. That would be
that'd be so awesome.
That would be awesome.
That would be amazing.
That would be.
I would absolutely
beautiful memorial because you guys are carrying on his legacy and the show's legacy and nostalgia. So let's do that.
I would love to.
You guys decide to all watch it. Pop me that email and say we're putting it on. And even if it's in a few hours of each other, we will have all kind of honored beautiful Bob McGrath.
Yes.
That'd be so awesome.
Definitely.
Amazing.
Definitely.
Since we also mentioned Bob, how's it feel, work with Emilio?
Yeah, so Emilio was only a few months ago, right? Emilio
was like March, April, around there.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, that's one thing that Sonia and I were talking about the other night. Emilio Delgado. Okay, let me say this. The man that you saw on TV.
Yeah, yep.
I never saw him budge from that. And like I said,
I know that.
I'm privileged to know his family and travel with these people. I mean, Amelia and I sat on a plane once and I'll never forget, again, the anxiety, right? So I don't like planes either. I don't like cold. I don't like planes. I don't like crowds. So I was on a plane with Emilio. I don't remember where we were going. We were doing personal appearances. Personal appearances were hard for me because they were malls and they were people, right?
Crowds,
so, So I'm on this plane, I don't know, 15 years ago, maybe, and Emilio's sitting next to me. And maybe we were hitting turbulence. Maybe it was my mind was turbulent. I don't know, but I was not feeling good. And literally, I'm just looking at him and this guy he was just zen, solid. And then we get off the plane, our car is late. I can't really remember what happened. And I'm like, probably pissy. And he's literally like doing Tai Chi. He's outside, the car's late, we have luggage. And he's just like doing this Tai Chi. And I was like so frustrated because I couldn't stay in my like anxiety and pissed offness because there's Emilio, just Luis doing Tai Chi. And so he literally it just emanated from him and into you. He just brought such joy and calm, and he lit up a room, and he was gorgeous. Gorgeous to look at, to be around. Just he lit up a room.
Yeah. Even Ryan Dillon say, that's what he is. And now the TV, that's he's always that person. And
that is the man. Every time I walked in the room, hello, and you felt it. And then really asking how you were.
And Mila be like, Allison,
always, and his beautiful wife, Carol Delgado.
Yeah.
She lost her best friend. I loved being around them. They were an incredible couple to be around. They really were.
For sure.
Definitely.
They were breathtaking to be around.
Definitely.
Bob and Emilio, great people that you will never forget.
Never,
franchise. Never, honestly.
We don't have to.
Nope. Don't have to at all. So, in addition to Sesame Street, you've also made several appearances in the Law and Order series. What was like working on that?
I was on another Dick Wolf show the other day, FBI.
Huh.
I was sitting
Oh.
how many of these?
Nice.
How many
I
can
know.
you do? Empire. He's got an empire. What was the question before I went on my rant? What was the
Law
question?
and Order. Law and
He
Order.
was just asking like, what was it like working on Law and Order? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you're a New York actor, right? And you have like,
Yeah.
10 credits to your name, you better be doing Law and Order.
Yeah. or The Office or those type of
Yeah,
shows.
you better be doing like Law and Order, or, SVU, or you got to be doing one of them. It's great. I mean, it's a learning experience, right? So it's different, right? So you go from Sesame Street to Sopranos to Law and Order. It's like there are all these different experiences, and that's what's great as an actor, writer, director. So you just kind of watch how a set is run on each individual set, and it's always different, and it's always a learning experience, good or bad. It's always a learning experience.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Overall, what do you enjoy most about your work as an actress over the years?
My work as an actress.
Yeah.
Over the years,
I love hitting that zone with another actor, right? When you're then like kind of transcended and the lines are coming out, but you're so in the zone that it's kind of, you're not there and the character's there. So I love that. Hitting that zone with another actor is just great. It's remarkable. It's inexplicable.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So we've talked a lot about your work in the past. Can you share any projects you're working on now?
Yeah. I mean, right now, a lot of my time is spent writing, directing, and producing documentaries.
Okay.
Nice.
On humanistic management, trying to stamp, what we were talking about, right? Like,
very cool. It'd be very cool in the future wise if there's going to be Sesame documentary or something like that. That'd be very
Another
cool.
Sesame documentary.
Oh, we're working on it.
Nice, awesome.
I'm definitely working on a
amazing. That's
awesome. With Craig Shemin.
Hey, nice,
oh, yes.
nice. We previously had him.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah, and Stephanie.
Stephanie
as well.
and I.
Amazing people.
Yes, we had to put it on the side for a little while, but we have an incredible human cast documentary in the works.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm
very
doing.
Excited to see that.
Directing, writing, producing, trying to make the world a world that works for all.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
and Craig also make the release.
Is that the book about Jim Henson's first show?
Sam and Friends book, which amazing book. What I've heard is amazing.
They're talented.
Yeah, I've read a bit of it. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, and I know Frank Oz was a part of it.
Yeah, he did the forward for it.
He did the forward for it.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
I mean, those are talents, right? Those are the people we need.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else?
So as
give you your time.
So as an actress, what challenges would you say you faced during your career? I mean, I know you brought up earlier, like crowds and the anxiety.
Did I mention cold too?
Yeah, you mentioned cold.
Like I don't know, for like almost 5 times now.
Crowds, cold, lots of people. Did I mention that? What are the challenges? So the challenges have been certainly. I don't like to. So I'm not going to consider them challenges, right? So, but there's definitely challenges for women actors. There's definitely challenges for older women actors, but I don't think they're challenges, right? Because I mean, the only thing I then do is I just write my own stuff. I write it. But I would like to see it not be a challenge for. I'd like to see deeper, wiser roles for women of all, not just women, but you know, I guess I am one, right? So it's like that's where my brain goes. But just what I say sometimes when people ask me why I write or what I write about, I like to write about the people who aren't being written about, right? So those are the characters I want to see. Those are the only characters I really want to see at this point. So I think there's a little challenge in getting those characters and scripts into mainstream, but not as much.
Actually, most of the time, you just go for it.
Yeah. Who said that? Who said that?
That was James.
Me.
No, but that's really it, right? That's it. So I'd love to be able to sit here and complain about, well, we don't see this, we don't see that. Well, then we make it. So I'm going to hold you all to it.
Exactly.
You have to make it.
Exactly.
And so I started making it, and now it's made, and I'm going to make more of things I want to do and see. And I can write for friends, and I can write for male friends and female friends and transgender friends. And it doesn't matter. But my point is, I just want to see, I like to see all of it. I like to see it all, not just one thing. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a challenge.
Not at all. Just do it.
The challenge is getting out of your own way and doing it. So, we do that. Just do it. Take a deep breath and do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are doing. I mean, I know I said that, but I think this is, you know how many young men, women are sitting around now just thinking about, I'm thinking about doing, a podcast or a talk show, and they're just thinking about it, and you guys actually did it, and I commend you for that.
Well, thank you so much.
Inspiring.
Yeah. I was the one who wants to do it, and Chris and Matthew's our co-host, and Matt came on board later on, and boom, we just do what we love to do. Just keep on doing it.
It's inspiring.
Yep. Definitely.
It's going to help a lot of people. It's going to help a lot of people.
Definitely is.
So if they can do it, why can't I do it? Of course I could do it. And then
definitely.
Exactly. What piece of advice would you give to anyone who wants to get into acting?
It's very easy. Be in love with it, right? So just be in love with it, because if you're not in love with it, it's going to hurt. We're going to see it as the audience, and it's hard work. It's like such hard work. So be in love with it. Be in love with it. And then it will carry itself. But if you kind of just like it, great, like do an acting class and do your, but really be in love with it, with your whole entire heart, and we will see that. We will see that.
And what's the best piece of advice that you've received?
Oh God!
Like as
received is different. Giving, it's like it's different. What was the question? I went on another.
The best piece of advice that you've received, like throughout your time as an actress. Work as an actress
or human or person or
actress
or all of it, or all of it doesn't matter.
All of it. What's there? All of it.
I mean, well, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten, right? So I try to stick with that. And as an actress, keep it simple. Less is more. Tell the truth.
Of course.
Tell the truth. I just thought of something I hadn't thought of in a while. Bill Hurt, at the end of Hurly Burly, we were coming off stage one night. We were coming off stage, and I'm a little torn. I sometimes have mixed feelings that I did that play so young, because it was a very rough role and a rough topic. but I was taken care of. And I remember walking off stage with William Hurt one night, and for some reason, and he always left in front of me. We were the last two on stage. And so we would walk off before curtain call and then have to come back. And I remember we walked off and he turned around and he took my hands and he said, choose wisely. And I was 12, right? So 12 or 13. By the time the play ended, I was 13 and I didn't, I was like, okay. But yeah, it's like choose wisely, choose your roles wisely, choose your work wisely, choose your partners wisely. Like, I don't know. Thank you. Who asked the question? Was it you, Chris? Was it whoever asked the question?
Yeah, it was me.
Because I hadn't thought of that in a while. And so thank you very much for reminding me of that moment with William Hurt. Choose wisely.
Of course. So what would you like to say to the fans and supporters of your work and of Sesame Street who have supported you all these years? Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. I would like to say thank you so much. I would like to say I'm with you and I'm one of you. I'm my admiration for the show and the people in it are probably just as large as yours. So thank you. That's really it. Thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart for watching and loving it like I do. Thank you.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure.
Of course.
You guys are amazing.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are too.
Please keep up the good work. And I'm going to we're gonna watch Christmas Eve on Sesame Street, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
I am going to be following your future work. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So people would like to contact you. Where can people find you?
You have my manager's number. Was it Jake? Was someone?
It was me. It was me.
It's Chris.
Okay, so my managers. Oh, you're talking about you guys. Oh, I don't know. I'm not a big social media fan. My manager is Carolyn Anthony. Anyone can. Anthony and Associates in New York City. Anyone can mail her something. I'm not I sometimes am. Oh, I am on Instagram, but I don't go on a lot. So. But I think I'm Alison Bartlett 1 on Instagram. Oh, right. I'm supposed to do that, right? Like social media. No, I'm not a big social media for so cold crowds.
Social media.
Yeah. I got a lot of stuff I got to work through on a daily basis to get through a day. But I am on Instagram, Alison Bartlett 1.
Nice. So it'll be in the description down below so people can follow you.
Yes.
Yeah. So since we only got one more question, Jake, how about you? That's off the last question.
Yes. You always ask a guest, for the last question. Of course, this podcast is called Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show. When you think of nostalgia, what do you think of, or how would you define the word nostalgia?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
Nostalgia. I mean, you're talking to a very highly emotional, sensitive, dramatic, deeply feeling person, which has gotten me just tough sometimes. So nostalgia, if I put the positive spin on it, when I think of the word nostalgia, that was the question, right? Or would I think of something nostalgic? There's like a gentle exhale of like, oh my God, oh. So that's what I think of nostalgia. And I just had visions of Bob Snuffleupagus, nostalgia, something that evokes safety and comfort and ease and beauty. So, and that you guys are bringing that. I'm not going to curse. That's good stuff.
You can do that.
I can. I got to have some boundaries. I'm not going to, something happy nostalgia show. But that is really effing good stuff that you're doing, because everything I just described, like you're bringing to an audience. Man, whatever. That's amazing. So that's what I think of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Of course.
What a pleasure meeting you. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for including me and inviting me and allowing me into your space.
But yeah, Allison, I just want to say thank you so much for for what you've done. I'm glad for us knowing your work and Sesame and everything. I'm glad you want to do this, and I'm glad we did this. And and keep up with your work.
Thank
and
you
see
for
what's
being
next
part
for
of
you.
our lives over the years.
Yes, absolutely.
That means a lot. It really does. It is a true pleasure meeting you three. Thank you. I'm blown away.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, folks, this brings another episode of Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show to a close. We've absolutely enjoyed our time with Alison Bartlett. Allison, thank you again for being on.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
And we got more episodes. We got more episodes coming up. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
That's
bye.
Amazing.
See ya.
Bye.
Really lovely. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another wonderful Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show interview. Be sure to follow Jake and the crew on social media and stream the show wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And as always, remember to keep nostalgia alive. Bye-bye. This Jake's Happy Nostalgia Show episode is dedicated to a wonderful singer, performer, and all-around great human being that we just very recently lost. Bob McGrath, also known as Bob Johnson on Sesame Street, from the very beginning in 1969 to 2015. You will be missed by all.